Okay, we're going to check out this week's final order cutoff list for June 24th, 2020. You want to see what I think of interest? You got to stick around. Welcome back, family. Hey, thanks for joining us here. Team Ohana, I'm your host, Rich, and we are going to be checking books of interest for the final order cutoff list week ending June 4th. What I mean by books of interest, I say this every single week, but hopefully I'm getting new viewers, so you don't know what I said before. Okay, so books of interest are the number one of any series, whether it be an ongoing series, a limited edition, a one-shot, anything that might be new coming out that you might not know about that you want to add to your final order cutoff list for your pull list for your comic book stores, your LCS. If there's a number two that's coming out, I try to point that out as well. Maybe you picked up the number one out of curiosity, you liked it, and this is your reminder. Hey, if you like number one, add number two to your list to keep the story going. I don't continue with 3s, 4s, 12s, whatever. I figure after the first two issues, you're on your own. If I see a first appearance of a character, of a group, of a new uniform, anything that's a first appearance of something, I try to point that out. Really cool cover art. Something that I think is cool. My tastes are not the same as yours, so maybe I'm missing pointing out something that you would normally. Drop it in the comments. We all want to know. If I point out something you don't like, I apologize. It just catches my eye. It doesn't mean it has to catch everybody's. And finally, I try to point out if there are any king size, giant size, annuals. Because if you have a subscription to a book, you're subscribed to Batman. Okay, that means you're going to get 12 issues for 12 months. If you think you're going to get the annual on your pull list, you're mistaken. You have to go in separately to order the annuals or giant size or king size. So if I see them on the list, which I don't think there are any this week. No, there's not. I'll let you know, so this way you can go, oh shoot, there's an annual, there's a king size, I have to go on separately to order it. I want to make sure you guys have your complete collections and you know which books, you're up to date on your storylines and potentially first appearances of characters which often appear in annuals. Alright, so let's jump right into this week's list. And we've got Ain't No Grave, number 1 of 5. This is the third printing. Oh, that's another thing I point out. If I see second, third, or last week, ninth printings of number ones, I point those out to you as well. A lot of people love collecting those multiple printings. Well, here's one for you from Image. So we've got a bunch of books from Image this week. I gotta give them credit. And so Scotty Young's book is on its third printing for the first issue, and I've heard some good things about this series, so if you like your multiple printings, there you go. We also had Destro number 2, so if you picked up number 1 just because you're following that G.I. Joe Massiveverse going on an Image, and you like the Destro series and you want to continue with it, there's your courtesy reminder to add number 2 to your pull list. Number 3, we have Plastic Death and Dolls number 2. If you liked number 1 and you want to continue, there's your reminder. We also have Remote Space, number 2 of the 4-part series from Cliff Rathburn, sorry, not Rayburn. If you want to add that to your list, don't forget. Refters, number 2. This is another courtesy reminder for you. Scarlet, number 1, but second printing. Again, a multiple printing set. Jason Howard did the cover art on this. I think he did really good until he got to the face. Well, not crazy about the cover art. But sometimes when the cover art is not good, not many people order it, then it becomes a low printing, and then it becomes valuable. Not saying this will, just the kind of things that are funny with our hobby. Spawn Misery number 2. A lot of number 2s. And a number 1 here, wrapping up Image, we have Witchblade number 1. A couple different covers for this, but Witchblade is... it is something that is followed by a lot of different people, and I know a lot of artists, have a lot of creative influence when they drew their artwork, something that's Witchblade inspired, and as a result, I think it would be a good idea to add the sketch cover, the blank sketch cover to your pull list, maybe a couple copies of this, and when you go to conventions, if you're somebody that likes to get artwork done, this is a great book that I think a lot of artists are going to love to go to town with. So you can have some fun with this one. It's $5 for a good sketch cover. A lot of meat there to draw on. Might want to add it. Okay, moving on, we into Boom Studios. We have Lawful, number 2 of the 8-part series. If you like number 1, don't forget to add number 2. And we have Something's Killing the Children, number 39. And this was cover F, so you're going to have to scroll down a little bit before you find this. But it's calling it a reveal variant. It's standard price, $3.99. But it says, ahead of the landmark 40th issue of Something is Killing the Children, get ready for the final issue of the character-defining Year Zero arc, with another nightmarish standalone adventure. Now, I don't know what it's actually revealing by the cover. I couldn't tell you. But issue number 40 is going to start another arc, and this is kind of like origin stuff. So this is the finale of the origin. There is a cover A, of course, but anytime I see the word reveal, I just point it out to you guys in case you want to order it. I don't see what the reveal possibly could be, but that's why I guess it's a mystery. Moving into DC, we have the Dark Knights of Steel All Winter number 1. This is the cover A. A few different covers here. Superman number 16. This is one of those ones I just love the cover of. Nathan Zerzi, I love his work. He does a lot of stuff with the Poison Ivy / Harley Quinn. He's the one that does all the tattoos on them. And I was introduced to this artist, thankfully, from Visions Games and Comics, or Comics and Games, or however they have an equal amount of both, a lot. So, if you're a fan of Zerzi's art, just bear in mind that Zatanna is gracing several different covers of Superman number 16. This one happens to be my favorite. Moving into Marvel, we got Blood Hunt number 5. This is the David Baldeon Fangs variant with Doctor Strange written there in the mouth. I can't say that I've actually seen a cover like this before. It's a nice original idea. Yeah, if you're following the Blood Hunt series and you're ordering number 5, if you want to get that variant, you might want to look into it. So Captain America number 11 has a Deadpool Wolverine homage, and I think I've seen this maybe once or twice, this homage. I don't know if it's a very popular homage. Sarcasm. Okay. One thing I do find interesting, though, is at the bottom. This is done by David McNiven, and it says McNiven after McFarlane in McFarlane's handwriting type. So if you look at that from a distance, you almost think that McFarlane did it. It's not. It's sorry, it's somebody, Steve McNiven, not David McNiven. That was an actor. So if you like collecting that particular homage and adding to your collection, probably about 300 books that have done this. Hulk 340, so it's cool, but I think it's going to lose a lot of hype after the movie leaves, but we'll see. Marvel Zero number 1, deluxe edition collecting Marvel's Gold 2024 free comic book day titles. This giant size issue is jam-packed with. So they took all the free comics, they put them into one big comic, and they're charging you $7. Money grab. Anyway, you know what? If you want to add to your collection, go for it. NYX number 1. Now, this hurts, man. This hurts because I normally like Sarah Pacelli's art. I am not crazy about this artwork and the facial expressions on some of these characters. Especially when you've got the Art Germ cover that is just fire. I love this cover. I've ordered this cover. I did not order the cover A. Might turn out to be another Doom. Remember with Doom, what everybody went for the cover B, and I don't think a lot of people ordered the cover A, and as a result, the cover A went up in price because there weren't that many copies of it. But still, I still love the cover, this Art Germ variant. I don't know if that's cover B, Q, whatever. It's just this is an Art Germ variant, so I'm assuming it's a B or a C. We have Venom War number 1. Everything is coming up Venom. So let's see where this storyline goes. We also have and JCC reminding everybody this is how you do a negative space variant. Okay, where there's actually the background color and parts of the costume uniform are exactly the same, and you can't see where one ends and one begins. Yeah, that's the way you do it. So that's a really cool JTC. And there's also, of course, a Scotty Young. For all you Scotty Young collectors, here's another one to add to your collection. We have Venomverse Reborn #2. For those of you who read #1 and you are enjoying it, want to collect, continue reading it, don't forget to add the Venomverse Reborn to your pull list. Moving into Dynamites. They're cute, they're adorable, and they will kick your butt. The Powerpuff Girls are back. Now, I'm going to be honest, there are, I think, 6 different variants of this. I could not pick out one that really stood out. I thought they were all great. So if you're a Powerpuff Girl fan and you want to get like 6, 7, you want to blow 30, 40 bucks on different covers, you really, really can't go wrong with this week. But I'm just showing the cover A so everybody knows that the PP Girls are here. That didn't sound right. Powerpuff Girls are here. Eesh, that's a version of the name I don't want to use. From Oni Press, we have Biker Mice from Mars #1 of 3. Now, we know we got some kind of a show coming with Biker Mice from Mars. That's already been released. It caused the Marvel book to shoot up a bit. It's actually not as hot right now. It's going to remind everybody because this is coming out, and that Marvel book will shoot back up. So, I don't know if it's really going to turn out to be a good show or not. But for all you Biker Mice fans, we've got a 3-part series coming out from Oni Press. Don't forget to add it to your pull list. We have Burning Maid #2 from Dark Harbor. If you like #1, you want to continue reading it, there you go. Moving on, we have Dark Soulside #1 of 2 from Valiant Comics. We have The Dusk, cover A from Pete Woods from Scout Comics Chispa. I saw Chispa last week. I still don't know what it means. I really should Google that at some point. What do you think? Titan Comics says Elric the Necromancer #1 of 2. We have Eternal Warriors, The Last Ride of the Immortals #1 of 2 from Valiant. Flash Gordon from Mad Cave Studios gets his own series. Oh, it's Buck Rogers ahead, sorry. IDW is bringing us Godzilla Rivals versus Manda #1. I think they have a different rivals for each one of the monsters that he's fought at some point, whether it be in book form or movie form. Greaser, Gemini Blues #1, cover A from Magma Comics. By the way, getting back to the Godzilla real quick, I think if they do a Godzilla Rivals Biolante, I think that would probably be a good one to pick up because I think that's where the sequel of Godzilla -1 will head. Personal opinion. High on Life #2. Yeah, best it is from the video game from Squanch Games. There was some people talking about #1. I didn't hear whether or not it was good or not, but you know they try to make video games into comic books, and once in a while they hit one. It's only a 4-part series, and it's only $3.99. The artwork seems to be pretty interesting, so if you picked up #1 and you want to continue reading it, there you go. Joy Operations #2 from Dark Horse. So if you read 1 and liked it, #2 is out. It's actually Joy Operations 2, #2. From Dark Horse also we have Prodigy Slaves of Mars #1. From Massive Comics we have Ramgod #1 of 6. Now this one is $5, but if you really want to spend a lot of money on it, there's a lot of different covers. There's foils, there's Virgin variants, there's everything about it. Massive, which is also Whatnot. They've got a lot of choices for you on that. Moving down, we have Resident Alien, The Book of Life, #2. So if you liked 1 and you want to continue reading it, there you go. Dark Harbor has the Roman Ritual #1. This is says introducing Scout Europe. This new an ongoing series. So it doesn't say a limited series. It says ongoing, and this is #1 from Dark Harbor. So if you want to pick that up in that very disturbing cover, or just leave the book somewhere where either your daughter or babysitter or somebody at work can see it and start to really worry about you, then that's a good one to do it. We have The Writer, number 2. So if you picked up 1 and you liked number 2, and you want to continue reading it, there's number 2. And the last one is not in comics. You'd have to go down below the comics on Previews World and go to books. And you will find, I recommend this anytime I see a good World of Reading level 1. If you have a new reader in your life, if you know somebody, if one of your kids, your grandkids, your nephew's niece, a coworker who's got a 3-year-old or 4-year-old is starting to learn how to read, and getting them to engage into books and getting to to stay with it, and, keep them turning the pages is the key to really getting them to learn how to read. World of Reading from DK Publishing has always done a good job, and we have Young Jedi Adventures for $5.99, so it make a nice little book and, as I say, investment in their future. And that wraps up this week's Books of Interest. But get me back up here to full size. I'm going to say thank you everybody for joining. I'm sorry it's running a little late today, but I'm going to make sure I get this up as soon as possible. Still be up here on Saturday. And I have to prepare for tonight, which is our Patreon / YouTube member get together. If you're a member of Patreon or YouTube and you're not able to attend tonight's and you want to just text me, message me on Instagram which picks you would like, just do so and I'll pull them out. Once every 3 months I'll mail them out to you guys. Get a nice little collection and shoot you some books. Remember, it's only $3 a month just to help cover the cost of some of the shipping, like I'm going to need for these books. And you get some free comic books along the way, which definitely is worth a lot more than how much you're spending. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, click on those notifications so you know when more videos are dropping, and tell your friends about the channel. Help us grow. The faster we grow, the faster we get to 1,500, the faster I give away a Hulk 102. And Ronin, number 1, the first one. All right, so guys, thank you so much. Until I see you in the next video. Mahalo.